As I told you that last time, we shall be looking at the new thing as our major emphasis. We say that we shall be looking at what we call relevances of these maps. When you look at these maps, they give a they simplify complex patterns. In other words, they are saying that the data is too beautiful and geographical data is even more visible, and the patterns oriented than most. They are saying these ones characteristics are lost when the data is contained in spreadsheet and also charts and graphs. They are saying that are designed for words. They are saying and numbers. They are saying that geography does not drawn display the importance of numerical texture information. They are saying it justifies maps as the basis to explore this information in line with being that they simplify complex patterns. So once a map is drawn, it will clearly try to display given information. But now when you try to look at the symbols that they try to use, you can easily understand given data once it is in spreadsheet or charts on and also the graphs. For instance, when you have lines or curves in form of given color, for instance the blue color displayed in there, or an area displayed with a blue color, it will clearly show that that is a water body, or it may be a river or a lake. So those that's why it is simple in terms of once the information is obtained. They are saying that also they help to give basic insights. When they talk about they give a basic insight, they are saying that 80% of the data now that has been obtained or gotten from the field, it gives an insight. How does it give an insight is what we are going to be looking at. So when they talk about that giving an insight, we are looking at the spatial data that them being static. In other words, they help learners or students that are doing geographical information to understand what that map or it's all about. So when you look at the themes or the title, they clearly show that we have those maps that showing political regions or interest or economic interest. So they make or they allow the users to make better decisions or to see short information portrayed on the maps. This can give a great insight in the information that obtained. In others, they can help to make complex information to become easy to be understood once you view that once you view those maps. In others, they drive better insights into what you have drawn. So you may be having complex things in terms of information or data that you may be wanting to show or to give out to the people that perceive your information, but when they realize that the information you are giving to them is designed into maps or is designed into what we call numerical data, so these people that tend to be using the information the information may become easy for them to understand. However, they are also saying that these maps are also help or is a journey of discovery. When they talk about that, they create inspiration outlooking fuels a journey of discovery. When you look at these maps, how they are drawn, we have different groupings or locations, or they clearly show given relief features. So when they talk about various mountains, that being the largest mountain, when they try to show to you how they are located in which direction and in each places. So they try to show to you how the maps they tend to be looking like. So you develop aspects of discovering, not only discovering, actually you can be able to know even where it is for. In other words, they create an inspiration, outlooking fuels, a journey of discovery. They are saying through grouping location or by being able to drill down further into the spatial location, maps encourage further discoveries and also interaction. So when you read through those maps, or when you study a given particular map, they open minds, or what we have said, that they open further discoveries and interaction between the map and also the given area. When you study about maps showing given maps, in also terms of location, so they actually give you morale to also go and also explore the same features or the same maps. Those are what we call some of the relevance. Then the other, they are talking about they also add visual context. When you talk about the context here, in others, you are looking at the how they look like in terms of being that they are drawn. So these ones, they are shaded, giving some impression to anyone that be attending to use these maps. And also they give the differences or the real differences between the features on the actual ground and also those ones that are drawn. How do they do it? When you look at how features they are represented in the real world, there are some symbols that they use, and those symbols, they have gotten what we call the key. The key tries to display the information that is obtained, or that try to show things that tend to be appearing onto the given surface. Those are another, that's what we talk, that they add the context. So the other thing is creation, creating conversation or creating conversations. So when we talk about creating conversation here, we are looking at the emphasis of giving new insight, or when you find out new things. In other words, when they try to draw for you those maps, trying to show different features or physical aspects. In other words, they are creating a conversation. How do they create a conversation? They give perspective, encouragement in collaboration with the actual information that they try to display. When you look at the maps, how they are drawn, if they are given a map of physical features, look at how they try to stretch. In your understanding, they are trying to open to you that this map is located in this place, it is of about these kilometers. In other words, they try to give you that information, and also they try to display for you the real information concerning those maps, how they are formed in terms of location and also their formation. Here they are saying that look at this. They are saying that it emphasizes what new insight can spark. They are saying that they show new findings and perspective, encouragement, or encourages collaborations, and they are saying these collaborations lead to what we call conversation. And they are saying that you look at it, you are asking all right questions about the data. If you want to know the location, clearly when you look at the map, it can try to show you how they are located. If you look at how these features are drawn, they can try to show you how they are drawn with the help of the symbols. Then the other, they are trying to say that they tell better tales. When you talk about they tell better tales, look at the emphasis of stories, or any storyteller, knowing that it engages an audience. How do they engage audiences? When you get the map and give it to the runners, or you display it to the runners, when you display it to the learners, these people will actually be looking at what you are displaying to it, and they can easily tell the information they are obtaining from that map extract. So even you may be using maps showing geodata or showing geographical data of given things. Maybe they are mountains. In others, they are trying to tell that that mountain is of physical features and is displaying maps. If you are talking about cities, when they look at the maps are trying to display cities, they will clearly be displaying that information. Then they are talking about changes in perspective. When they talk about changes in perspectives, they are saying arguments become a lot of more pervasive when you add or where to and where why. In other words, they are trying to mean that these maps helps to tell or to help you to obtain data that you can be using to show to these people. How can you show them? Simply when you have different changes in terms of the information that you may be correcting from the field. When you display it out there, it can clearly show changes in perspective or how people tend to be perceiving the information that they may be obtaining. So those are the some of the few relevances of maps. Then the other that we shall be looking at next time is going to be the concepts of map reading, where we are going to be picking up from next time. For now, I beg we stop here, and we shall be meeting up from here next time.